Hello YouTube, this is Mike with PhoneJunkie.org. Here I am bringing you just a quick review of the HTC One X Plus. Now this phone is currently on AT&T's network. It is at $199 price point with a 2-year contract. It comes in carbon black color. Now here I'm going to go ahead and talk about the design and specs real quick. The design is the same as the HTC One X, which was the previous version released. So here you have a polycarbonate casing. You have a nice matte feel to it. You have the 8 megapixel rear facing camera on the back with LED flash. You have a pop out SIM card slot. You have your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack in the top right hand corner. You have your lock unlock button on the top. You have your noise canceling microphone on the top as well. Then you turn the phone over to the front and you get your speaker grill on the front. You get your front facing camera. You have a 4.7-inch screen, which is also the same as the previous HTC One X. You have your 3 capacitive buttons here on the bottom of the screen. So here on the right hand side of the phone, you have your up-down volume rocker. Now this is really flush to the phone. I did notice a little bit more of accidental presses with it, as well as it was hard to confirm if I was pushing the button down or not. I was in a movie theater the other day trying to turn my volume down without anyone hearing, without making a big scene, and I could not really feel if I was pushing the button down or not. So that was a little annoying there. On the left hand side, you have your micro USB cable charging port. And another thing I like to point out is on the bottom of the HTC One X, when you turn it on its side, is 5 little points of contact here, and this is for a dock that you can purchase. But I actually like the way it looks on the device. Adds a little bit of, appeal to a little bit of toughness to it. Now this device does have some pretty good specs. It is running Android 4.1.1 Jelly Bean. Unfortunately, it doesn't have 4.2 yet. Also is running Sense 4 Plus overlay, and I do have to give HTC some credit with the Sense 4 Plus. It is definitely a lot better than their previous versions of Sense. This phone is 8.9 millimeters thick. It weighs in at 135 grams. Again, you have a 4.7-inch display with 720 by 1280 pixels with a pixel density of 312 ppi. This is running the SLCD2 screen technology. You have a 2100 milliamp battery. You are getting a Tegra 3 quad-core 1.7 gigahertz processor. You have 1 gigs of RAM, and you are getting 64 gigabytes of internal storage. And you are able to use the full 64 gigabytes. And one last thing, and I noticed that a lot of people really take this to the heart, is it does not have an SD card slot. And it just seemed like a lot of people that like Android, let me turn this volume down. A lot of people that like Android really rely on that SD card, but unfortunately this does not have a SD card slot, and it does not have a removable battery. So you are stuck with the 2100 milliamp battery, and you're stuck with the 64 gigabytes of internal storage. Alright, so the first thing I like to talk about is the phone call quality. The speakerphone was a little bit on the low side. It did sound a little echoey, but I do believe that's to the device I received, as the phone not using on speakerphone, just regular phone calls, they were able to hear me. The noise canceling worked very well. We had people talking in the background. They said it did cancel them out, and they were able to hear me crystal clear. I was able to hear them crystal clear. It was just on the speakerphone I had a little bit of problem. Alright, the next thing I'm going to talk about is the operating system. Again, this is running Jelly Bean 4.1.1 with Sense 4 Plus overlay. And it does have some new features. It's definitely better than the previous versions of Sense 4 Plus. And Jelly Bean offers Google Now. And Google Now can basically send reminders, give you directions to and from work, tell you how far you are from work, public transit information, weather updates, sports scores. It's pretty much almost a comparison to Siri. Now, it is a little confusing there. So this is basically the startup screen for Google Now, and you have to go into show more cards and go in here. You can look at sample card settings and set up your cards the way you want them. I would recommend, and don't just give it up, because it is a little bit hard to get into, but after you get it going and learn your way around Google Now, you'll definitely be able to use it. Also new to the Android 4.1 is the lock screen widgets here, and you can set this up. I don't have any on there now, but you can have different widgets displaying stuff on the lock screen, and that way you don't have to worry about having to go out of the lock screen and go into your menu. You can just see it straight from the lock screen. Now with Sense 4 Plus, you can go ahead and move any of the applications you want around, put them in folders. You can open up or add the widgets. You can resize the widgets. Sense does have quite a few pages of widgets, which is a pretty good thing. So all you do is just scroll over. I have the page selected where I want the widget to go. So if I hide it or highlight it, it'll tell me it's going there. It shows the red where it will not fit. So we'll go ahead and go over here, and let's just go ahead and add the music one here. So it's in there now, it shows it. So we'll just get out of this. We'll go to this page, and I don't have any music on the device yet. Now on some of these widgets, you can resize them. You just hold it until it's highlighted, and you get an arrow, and you can resize the widget. So that way it only takes up half your screen. Now I can add more widgets to this screen, or I can add some more apps to the screen. Also, I mean, we're seeing this with a lot of the Android phones right now, but you have your 4 main buttons on the bottom, and these can be changed. But you just highlight the application you want to go to and pull it into the circle, and it'll take you directly to that. Or you can just go straight into the home screen by unlocking there. So HTC Sense 4 Plus keyboard is a little bit better than the previous versions. It's a little bit more spaced out, bigger keys, but I still find myself having trouble hitting the space bar. I keep hitting the B or the V, and I don't hit the space bar, so all my words go through, and I type pretty fast. So by the time I go back to where I was looking to see what I typed, I noticed that my 10 words are now one complete sentence, or not one complete sentence, but like one complete word. My 10 words are just one word now. So it is something to definitely play around with, but I would not let that be a judgment point for your decision to buy this, because it is Android and you can change out the keyboard. They have a ton of keyboards in the App Store, and you can change this out to your likings. So now the apps. Now AT&T and HTC have definitely cut back on the amount of apps that they put on the device, especially from the HTC One X, the original. So these are pre-installed. Let's say you go to My AT&T, it'll start up. Most likely needs an update, and that's just so you can manage your account from your phone. You also get HTC Media Link HD, which allows users to stream photos and things like that to their TV and so forth. And it does come with a few games. It comes with Mass Effect Infiltrator, but it also comes with Tegra Zone, which is basically a video application where it has games from the App Store, from the Play Store, that will take full advantage of the Tegra 3 quad-core processor. So that's kind of fun, because sometimes some people want to go in the App Store and just find a game, that'll put the hurting on there and on their processor and really test it out. And this is what is actually going to do it. You can go in here and they have, some games in there that they do have more paid apps than free apps. So I will let you know that before you, dive right into it, thinking you're going to be able to just go in there and download a lot of games. But for the most part, AT&T and HTC did pretty good without putting a lot of bloatware on this device. So if you do get this device, I'll leave all that for you to check out there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the web browser here. Now, the web browser is just a basic web browser. Just like pinch to zoom and scrolling, it's really becoming a thing I spend less time on, just due to it's almost mastered by every smartphone maker out there now. When the iPhone was first released, that's when it really mattered, but now it's basically the same across any Android device, any iOS device, and any Windows phone device. Alright, but here we go. I have CNN. I have the full page pulled up. Now, this is a 4G LTE device. When I am in an LTE area, I get 10 to 18 megabits per second. Now, right now, I'm only in the 4G HSPA Plus, which is about 3 to 6 megabits per second. So that's still relatively pretty fast, not too bad. But this is the full site version of CNN pulled up right now. So just like I said earlier, the pinch to zoom works very well. Scrolling is very well also. The accuracy on what I'm trying to click is pretty good. As you can see there, pulls it right up for you. Now, one feature I do like about this is it has a little pull-up bar down here, and that allows you to put it on Facebook, like it, tweet it. You can share it. You can scroll over, and you have set bookmarks there. Popular, news, sports, entertainment, offers. And then you go over to your settings where you can rearrange things, take things out, add things in. You can click this to add a bookmark for a web page. As you can see, I added CNN. So all I have to do is just hit that and it will take me to CNN.com. And everything else is just the same. Like on other Android devices, you have your tabs button. You can go into incognito mode and add a new tab, or you can hit X to take away a tab. Alright, now we can go ahead and go into the camera app. Now, the 8 megapixel camera on the HTC One X Plus is definitely a great camera. It features an f2.0 aperture, and just like with the HTC One X, it has the image sense chip in there. The One X Plus definitely has truer colors and sharper details. Makes the details stand out a lot more. And as you can see here, here's just a few pictures that I snapped around with the HTC One X Plus out during the daytime. Some of these pictures came out really nice. And the One X Plus camera includes a BSI sensor for low light shooting. But to me, I was not that impressed with it. HTC One X Plus has plenty of features in here. You can add effects to your lens like distortion, depth of field, dots, vintage cold, grayscale, and so on. It also has a great burst mode where it can capture many. You can just hold the shutter button down and it will capture all your photos real fast for you, and it'll allow you to choose the best one, and it will also suggest what it believes is the best one. That is also a good feature if you're trying to catch someone smiling, or if you have kids, you're trying to catch them in the act of doing something, you always don't hit the shutter button at the right time. You're either too early or too late. So on this one, if you're always too early, then this will definitely help you out, as it's going to continue to take pictures. And you can always turn that off in the settings of the camera. Now it does take great 1080p video, nothing that stands out from any other device. It also allows you to take a picture while you're video recording, so that's kind of nice as well if there's a certain moment that you want to capture as a picture. Now I did test the front-facing camera over Skype a little. I was a little bit unsatisfied with the quality of the picture, but it does do 720p high definition, but that was over the 4G network. Now over Wi-Fi and LTE network, the quality was a lot better. But it's not something that I would rely on. Alright, what everybody's probably waiting for, the performance review. Now this HTC One X Plus features a Tegra 3 1.7 quad-core processor. It is a step up from the 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor on the One X. Now, I haven't noticed any lag. I did notice lag in the previous One X. Not too much, but just a little. But so far that I've had this, the scrolling has been very well. The Tegra 3 really goes to work. It makes everything run smoothly. I've been getting a little bit more into gaming, and I reset this phone a little bit before I did the review, so I don't have the games on here. All we have are just the stock games that are on here. Alright, so you've probably seen the little uh-oh. Now, basically what happened was I had to split my video into two parts, and the second part, I wasn't thinking. I was going to edit the videos, and I accidentally deleted the second part of this video. So I do apologize, but so if some things kind of seem a little off, that's exactly what it is. But I'm going to continue where I left off, and that was with heating issues. Every time I pretty much almost do anything, let's say like the camera, play games, play music, whatever the case may be that actually uses a processor or where it actually matters, it starts to heat up a lot. And it actually can get kind of hot on there. So hopefully this is something that HTC can fix with the next update. But, we will definitely have to see from there. Alright, I'd like to start talking about the display here. Now this is 1280 by 720 pixels. A pixel density of 312 ppi. So, it's right up there with the Galaxy S3, even the LG Optimus G. And it's the same display that the HTC One X had. Now, the HTC Droid DNA, its brother, does feature a full 1080p high definition screen. But on this device, I love the screen. Just like with the original One X, you get sharp and clear images, pictures. The resolution is very well. It has viewing angles like no other phone out there. Well, there are some now. But the viewing angles are amazing on this device. So if you are looking for a great device with a great screen, here's definitely one to keep your eye on. Alright, now battery life. This has a 2100 milliamp battery, which is bigger than the previous 1800 milliamp battery. Again, there is no removable battery on this device, but the battery is not as bad as some people make it out to be. It lasted me almost a full day. Actually over a full day. I would take it off the charger about 7 in the morning, and then about 7 p.m. when I get home, it was pretty much close to being drained. Sometimes it would actually be drained by 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. Sometimes I had about 20% left, just depending on how hard I used it that day. But to wrap it up, the design and the look of the HTC One X Plus hasn't changed at all from the previous design. You got a quad-core processor, 64 gigabytes of internal storage, bigger battery, and honestly, this is a great device. If you're on AT&T, you want a new Android, this is the device to get. It only has 1 gigabyte of RAM. It does have a few problems like the heating up issue. HTC locations is not the best, but it is Android, so you can replace all those with different apps, customize it the way you like. So I do recommend this device. If you guys have any questions, comments, please leave them below. Please show your support, subscribe, and follow on Twitter. Have a great day.